You're live.
Oh, screw this, John's Echo Dot, bro. It's playing on that instead of this. There we go. Good evening and welcome back to Phire Football Radio. I'm your host, Matt McGrath, alongside Luigi Capola, Zach Schmilla, and Eric Harkins. This is the 21st episode of the Phire Football Radio Show. Here at the end of the 2022 NFL season, we will be live on YouTube Live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. to bring you the latest news, rumors, and more about America's game and the league we all know and love, the NFL. Super Bowl 57 is on the horizon. Unfortunately, only one more game, and one more game only as we move into Super Bowl 57, but the Chiefs and the Eagles will play on Sunday the 12th. Super excited, but let's bring in our guests, Zach, Luigi, and Eric. How we doing today?
Doing fine, Matthew. One more game of football left in the season, and it's the big one, the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's looking forward to this. I'm doing good on this Wednesday, Matt.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Also, the weather's been nice this week, so it's been a pretty good week. Weird for
nice.
Connecticut. So, yeah, pretty good week. Excited for the Super Bowl on Sunday.
It's been very warm. Zach, what's the black ball doing in the corner of your video there?
Oh, that's my mic. Let me move it down a little bit.
No, you don't have to. I was just curious. Yeah, no, I'm excited for the Super Bowl as well. I don't know who I said it to, but I don't feel like there's as much hype as there has been in previous years for whatever reason. That's just my internal feeling. Maybe because the dominance of the Pro Bowl games happened this past weekend and took up all the media news.
Did you guys watch the Skills Challenge?
Which one?
The one where they...
The answer is no. Matt didn't watch a single thing.
So, well, I was on the train.
I didn't watch anything.
I was on the train and I wanted something to entertain me. And in my mind, I placed bets on who I thought was going to sling the best. It was that one where he got hit targets.
Oh. Yeah, Tyler Huntley went nuts, right?
Tyler Huntley went nuts, and the winner was Derek Carr. He had like 30-something points. The two biggest dudes. I think Kirk Cousins had one of the worst performances. Sorry, everybody.
Shocking.
Actually, T-Law had the worst because he went first. But when you go first, you always are the worst. No urgency, T-Law.
I did see. I only really saw the social media posts, and I did see the quote from Derek Carr when they asked him, have you ever been as hot as you are today? And he says, no, that's probably why Las Vegas is sending me away. Which at least he understands the situation. He's not unrealistic about it, but it was kind of sad in the moment.
Yeah. Sad.
And the reporter kind of laughed, and he kind of just had a straight face and was like, damn, that's the reality.
Only thing I saw was the Saints working him out with no plans of actually signing him. They're just kind of working him out. Other than that, it's been kind of quiet. Even I know it's early. In the process here.
Well, I threw him on the dock, and
you want to wait then?
I mean, we can wait, but I mean, we can just talk about it. There's like, with no games this past weekend, there's not much we can, have to start to get into before we get into the actual meat of what's on the dock today.
What about the coaching carousel, Matthew?
Oh no, I mean, listen, I love the
coaching carousel.
Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! I love the coaching carousel as much as anyone else. We can get to that, but I have that right before Derek Carr. So if we can take a vote, should we wait or should we talk about Derek Carr right now?
Let's just go through the doc as is.
Okay. All right, so let's go through the doc as is. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it as we are 5 days out from the Super Bowl 57. But before we get into the Super Bowl, there is always news and always things that we can talk about. The first topic that I put on the doc today is Kyler Murray a big enough problem to scare away coaches? I say this because Sean Payton apparently was not too interested in the job in Arizona because of Kyler and took the Broncos job in spite of Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So is Kyler a big enough problem?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Luigi, I saw you
Honestly.
shaking your head. You want to go off on this guy?
I mean, I don't even need to go off on this guy. He never got tall enough to get there anyways.
Oh, jeez.
Um,
We're going
he,
that way.
You can't ride Luigi's ride. He's not
sorry,
tall enough.
he can't. No, I mean, truthfully, I don't think that Kyler Murray's a bad football player. I just don't think you want him as your quarterback, if that makes sense. He's a great athlete. He can throw the ball very well. He can make every throw, really. He makes the downfield throws, the short throws. His stats are never really something that are going to pop out in a good or a bad way. He's just a quarterback who plays solid football. And I think the big issue here is his locker room presence and the way that he handles himself in meetings and everything else. And that's what it seems to be with the whole offseason news from the little clause in his contract about study time. The rumors of him always playing Call of Duty. I mean, he's just clearly not a leader that coaches want at the helm of their team. And especially with that ginormous contract that he's managing right now, nobody's going to want to have him as their quarterback entering a new coaching position.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Of course you can.
He did have the beanbag head coach Cliff Kingsbury. And I can't help but fight that. I agree with everything that just came out of your mouth. I want to start there. But I can't fight the feeling that perhaps if he got, I don't know, maybe someone with a regular person offense, not like a college air raid offense, that encourages Kyler's bad habits, that maybe we could see a little bit of progress, a little bit of maturity in the way he runs an offense. And maybe we could see some more production, especially if they keep D-Hop, which is looking like they're gonna, because I don't think they're gonna get a very good package with they owe him $19 million and he's old and injured, and they're probably gonna keep him. So who knows?
Yeah. No, I agree. You're right. He's definitely a product of his coaching and his playbook in terms of his on-field stuff, and it does play a factor when you're not playing your best on the field. Your attitude in locker room is going to change. That is for sure. Go ahead, Art.
I was going to say, I also feel like with Sean Payton, I mean, he made Taysom Hill look like a pretty good NFL quarterback in a few times he had to come in.
Yeah,
way he ran that offense.
Yeah.
So you'd think maybe if he had Kyler, who was like,
it's definitely an upgrade.
Real quarterback, it would be an upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, other than like the top 7 or 8 coaches in the NFL, Sean Payton is an upgrade wherever you're going to bring him.
Yeah.
And maybe even top 5 coaches. I don't know if he's better than 5 coaches, but I think he's better than 27 other coaches or so. But my point more so towards Kyler is, Zach, I do agree with you. He's a product of his offense. Hark, you're absolutely right. Sean Payton's a better coach than anyone's going to be getting. And he did make players look good. But I truly think that Kyler Murray is the issue, and it's his personality. And I know that if he played better, it could change, but I don't see it changing that much more.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a true opinion on this because I feel like we've seen the talent, as Luigi was saying, but we've also seen the problems that Zach was stating with Cliff Kingsbury and the type of offense that was implemented. I mean, the scramble is something that you love, and it's something that is intangible in a way like Mahomes' scramble is, but Mahomes is sound in scrambling. Kyler Murray just runs around for 30 seconds hoping that he finds someone downfield. And like the deep ball he had to DeAndre Hopkins, like the Hail Mary play that he just like threw off his back foot and D-Hop went over 2 guys and caught it. Like, yeah, I mean, he got it there, but it wasn't Kyler Murray making that play. So yeah, we haven't seen enough of Kyler Murray where it's Kyler Murray is the reason that the Cardinals, I mean, they're not winning. I was about to say the reason they're winning, but they haven't not.
They're not at all.
Oh, did you guys see that whoever wins the Super Bowl is going to have more wins in Arizona than the Cardinals did?
Yes.
That's absolutely ridiculous. That's
ridiculous.
Not a product of Kyler. That's Cliff Kingsbury, 110%.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's the team.
To your points, Matt, that's kind of why I'm hoping for a little bit of maturity out of him. He's still 25, so he's a young kid. He's getting paid a lot. That's true, but there's a lot of time to work with this kid. I think a good coach could mature him because he has the skill set. He has literally, besides his height, we've seen short quarterbacks be productive, especially guys that can move around like him.
Especially under Sean Payton.
Sure. I mean, he's got all the things that you would want from a quarterback. He can scramble. He's super hard to catch. He's got a very big arm. He can make really good throws. But, the kind of stuff that you were talking about, you're right. Sometimes it still feels like college. Sometimes it feels uncontrolled and sporadic and like he's playing hero ball and prayer ball, and maybe a little bit was Cliff Kingsbury, or maybe it's just him. But he's a young kid with an enormously impressive skill set, and maybe a really stable head coach could be the thing that kind of bumps him in the right direction. The rest of the team that he has around him isn't terrible either. It's not a ridiculously bad team here.
Defensive side of the ball, they have some significant issues.
Yeah,
they have a lot of
there's
problems.
holes for sure, but
but my last point with Kyler here is that he kind of hits the triple whammy for a new coaching hire: fat contract, bad attitude, terrible injury. I can't see any coach wanting to step into that issue and be like, hey, I have confidence that Kyler's going to come back 100%, going to come back more mature, and going to be worth that money. Hitting all three of those things when he's likely not even going to play the first 6 at least games of the season, it's not going to be good for any coach.
Yeah.
Especially with the minimum or the marginal turnover we've seen in first-year head coaches, where, I guess the Cardinals aren't a historic organization to do that, to fire a coach after 1 year. Obviously, they gave Cliff Kingsbury 4 years for whatever reason, and then extended him for 5 more. So, and then fired him in his 4th year. So, who knows what they would do? But yeah, if you're coming in and you want to try to get a fresh start with Kyler, you're not getting it until I don't think he's playing until at least more than halfway. Yeah, minimum 6 games.
Yeah,
at least more than halfway. He injured himself in December.
Now that I'm on the depth chart, did you guys realize how injured these guys are?
They're injured, old, and bad. It's a terrible
Kyler
loss.
Murray was on the IR. So these are just guys that finished on the IR. This is Kyler Murray, Rondale Moore, DJ Humphries, their left tackle, Rodney Hudson, who's old but was their starting center. J.J. Watt's retired. That's a different problem. Byron Murphy Jr., Budda Baker, and Nick Vigil, who's like a role player. But that's a lot of guys, and a lot of those guys are people that
key positions.
Yeah, and they might trade. They might trade D-Hop. We don't know.
Maybe
does he want to stick around for half a season without? It doesn't even seem like he really even likes Kyler anyway. So
what is he going to hold out though with 2 or 3 years left in his career? I feel like that's a young man's game.
I think he probably feels like he has more than that, but
maybe
it's fair.
But
and if you're the organization and you can get at least a 2nd-round pick out of him, you probably do it.
But that's 100%. The thing. There's been a lot of chatter about will they be able to, because he's expensive, he's old, he's coming off of an injury. They got him for a 2 years ago.
Yeah, I could see a team like the Cowboys who don't mind spending money and need a number 2 receiver being like, hey,
taking the risk.
Not that D-Hop by any means is a number 2 receiver, but taking that risk and saying our 2nd-round pick is worth it.
Yeah. How gross would D-Hop and CeeDee Lamb be?
That'd be dirty.
That'd be
very similar.
They are very similar.
Yeah,
you're right.
But to have to deal with 2 of them at the same time,
it would be a problem for opposing defenses. But the Cardinals have stated that they're not going to hire a coach until after the Super Bowl. Being that it's 5 days away now, so it doesn't really mean all that much. But they're basically down to defensive coordinator of the Bengals, Lou Anarumo, according to Tony Romo, and then offensive coordinator of the Giants, Mike Kafka.
Those are 2 options.
There's just 2, not what you want.
Right. So Luigi touched on the defense being the problem, but a lot of what we've touched on is the offense and Kyler Murray being the problem. I've talked to Chris Dorenzo. He's a Cardinals fan. He really wants Kafka. Personally, I don't I never even thought Kafka had a chance of being hired just because he went from QB coach to OC for 1 year and now he's going to be a head coach already.
That just doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound like a recipe for success, essentially. No. As much as I do think that Kafka played a role in the Giants, as much as we've talked about it, Brian Dable has played a big role as well. If you're a Cardinals fan and you want Kyler Murray to progress in his career, you probably want an offensive coach, but I mean, at the same time, Lou Anarumo's done a fantastic job, and you can get a good offensive coordinator in there to fix them too. So
Very true.
I don't know what they're going to do. We will find out. All right, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, we'll see what they do. Aaron Rodgers will decide on his future football career after a 4-day isolation and darkness retreat. This is one of the more interesting things of the week.
Love Rodgers, man. He's just so random and just loves to do weird shit.
He never disappoints.
No, he never disappoints. Absolutely not. And yeah, I mean, hey, go and do your thing, man. You didn't get into it, but I think the whole point of this isolation retreat, as he stated, is to figure out what he's going to do in the future.
Yeah. And he was talking about it on the Pat McAfee show, and he was saying, and Pat McAfee was like, what are you talking about? Like, people do that? He was like, yeah, I've heard people come out of it really successful. And
that's some rich people shit, man. That's really some rich people shit. Like, you don't hear about that on your normal everyday 9 to 5.
No.
You need to have time and money.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think he was like, I didn't hear the exact quote or if he even said this, but it was like, you spend that much time in a dark room, like completely isolated from it, you like start to hallucinate, like completely. And I think that's what he's trying to do is induce a hallucination.
Yeah, he's trying to induce hallucinations.
Yeah, I think so.
So he doesn't get drug tested by the NFL.
He's going on a vision quest. Like that Castle did.
Freak, bro.
You don't have to drug test me. I was just in the dark for a long time.
Did you hear what he said? McAfee was like, so like, what? Like, there's no light, like there's no windows or anything. He goes, oh, there's a slit, and they give you food and stuff. And McAfee was like
a prison cell.
Yeah, like a prison cell. It's literally a steel cage covered with a slot in the door, so they can give you food and water.
Could you imagine if like that was if he did that in the wrong hands?
That's being enslaved.
He's just kidnapped on accident. And now they have Aaron Rodgers for ransom.
Aaron Rodgers arrested in Syria and held captive
on darkness retreat in a cage.
Willingly
goes into cage where they feed him food.
God.
Oh my
they accidentally
God.
put him on a freighter and he gets taken across the world.
Let's hope it's just like some hippie thing in California where it's like cool and
it's definitely that. It's definitely that. Not in California.
He's going to somebody's basement in Green Bay, bro.
Yeah. Dude, they would guard that basement with rifles.
Gary from Green Bay, who runs Dark
David Bakhtiari outside it. No one will touch him.
Yeah.
No one will touch him.
Awesome.
Yeah, so he's going to try to decide on his future. The odds were in favor of the Jets just a couple days ago. And then as of yesterday, the Raiders, after the Pro Bowl games weekend and all the chatter from Davante Adams and all the questions being asked. I mean, yeah, if you're going to ask Davante Adams if he wants Aaron Rodgers, obviously, yes. His best friend in Derek Carr is leaving. His other best friend in Aaron Rodgers has a chance to come. So why would he say no?
Yeah.
So the Raiders are minus 450, the Jets are plus 350, and the Packers to stay in Green Bay are plus 600. I
almost want to just throw a bet on that plus 600 because of the value.
Just the value, man.
Just the pure value of it.
And every time that he's thought about leaving, he stays.
He stays, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one seems a little different.
I want him to go to the Jets, bro. I don't think he'll do anything with the Raiders, regardless of Davante.
He won't. It's a poverty franchise. They sink their players. But the Jets are too, so I don't know.
I could see him like living in the desert. That's like the one thing, like living out in the desert in Nevada. I feel like that just suits him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Growing weird mushrooms out of the sand in his backyard.
Yeah, and
like
Jake
that.
Plummer.
Yeah. Jake Plummer. I saw that, Hark. I saw that the other day. That is wild. Have you guys seen
wild.
that?
I don't think so.
Jake Plummer is a backup. He used to be a quarterback in the NFL. He got drafted and everything.
Nice.
And he retired from the NFL after being a backup for a while and started like a mushroom farm for non-hallucinogenic mushrooms that like help you heal your body and soul and mind. And like, have you ever seen those like ads on social media for like, instead of drinking your morning coffee, take your morning mushrooms?
Yeah.
It's like crap like that.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Must be a market for it then.
No, there certainly is.
Yeah, and he's in Colorado too, I'm pretty sure. So
perfect.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Legal drugs.
Yeah, I hope for Jets fans that he goes there. I don't know if he will. I mean, ultimately, it's up to him. But
Do you hope for Jets fans though, Matt?
yeah, dude, I'd like to go and watch Aaron Rodgers in person.
I guess that's fair,
That's
actually.
true, that's
And the
fair.
Giants are
Close.
well. So the Giants are playing the Packers and the Jets at home. I mean, the Jets at home doesn't matter because they're both in MetLife. But either way, so as long as he doesn't go to Las Vegas, I'll have a chance to see him.
It's fair.
Um,
But I would love to get in my lifetime an Aaron Rodgers Packers win at Lambeau against the Bears. I would love to watch that.
I mean, over anything, I'd like him to stay there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, if there's an option between the Raiders and the Jets, I could care less if he could go to the Jets. Or I mean, the Raiders. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant.
I would want to see him go to the Jets. So we'll see after his darkness retreat. Wide receiver AJ Green retires, 12-year career, 7-time Pro Bowler, even though that title doesn't matter. 727 receptions, 10,000 yards, 70 touchdowns. I mean, we grew up watching him. He's been fantastic his whole career. Yeah,
he had no all pro bids because Julio and AB just dominated.
I think so.
And Megatron.
And Calvin, I was just going to say, and Calvin Johnson. Damn. He should probably be a Hall of Famer.
That was
I
my
think
next
so.
question. Do we think he is?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not a first ballot by any
No,
means.
not first ballot, but I think he is too.
But I think this will be a very telling ballot, though, because whenever he enters it, if he makes it at all, then you know that this is the benchmark. I think he would be the lowest high value receiver you put in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. So if they put him in, I think like he's the new benchmark in this pass heavy league that we're seeing going forward. That you have to have AJ Green numbers to be in the Hall of Fame.
I see what
You see what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah, no, I know.
If you have, he's the new
floor.
benchmark. Yes, he's the new floor. That's the type of Hall of Famer I think he could be. If he's not a Hall of Famer, it will be sad because obviously he's one of the great receivers of our era. But I think he's the new floor for wide receivers if he gets in.
Well, they didn't let Anquan Boldin in, so
yeah, I mean he still has
makes
time on
sense.
the ballot. But
yeah, I mean, I think that I think also him having played for the Bengals, I mean, he's now a Bengals great. Like it always matters. Obviously, he didn't play for 10 different teams and put up these numbers. He was with the same team his whole career. And the first 7 years of his career, he was a Pro Bowler every time. So with no all pros, like especially in the era that he played in from 2011 to 2018, those first 7 years, there were so many good receivers in that time frame.
It was really just he was one of the top 5 receivers the whole time. It was just the top 3 were just a little bit better than him, which is just the thing. And I mean, and D Hop gets thrown in that mix too. But like D Hop, AB, Julio, AJ Green, and Megatron were the top 5 wide receivers of this era. Like, those are the guys. He just happened to not be one of those top 3 and couldn't get into the all pro list, which is sad because he should have one of those at least lingering around there.
Yeah, I agree. But regardless, unfortunately, his career is over. Pretty cool last touchdown. I know it was against the 49ers.
Yeah,
but
it was the only touchdown they gave up that game. So I'm okay
right.
with
So
that.
I looked at the score and I was like, because I saw that on social media, I was like, yeah, I mean, they blew him out. So it didn't really matter. But cool for him, regardless.
Yeah, I think I was watching that. I think Hark was here watching that game. And I was in the bathroom and Hark goes, you're not going to want to see this.
No, you will not.
No.
But cool for AJ Green. The coaching carousel, as Luigi was screaming about as we go around the room. A Brian Flores flew around. Vikings hire Brian Flores as their defensive coordinator. They fired Ed Donatel a couple weeks ago after the Giants' loss. Is Mr. Small happy? He posted and we reposted.
He's happy, yeah. How could you not be? What a huge moment for the Vikings. They got their head coach last year. They got their DC this year, which some could even argue may be more important to this team with their current state. What a hire. Great coach.
I was upset with this hire because I wish that the Niners could bring Flores in.
Hmm.
I don't think it was much of a fit with Shanahan and Flores. Generally, though, I didn't think they would get along. But this is pretty big. This almost smells like, if they don't get where they need to go soon, they might dump O'Connell and be like, Flores, you're bumped, brother. Like that's how this move kind of feels to me, because now they have 2 head coaches on their roster. And Zach, I 100% agree with you. This is probably a little more important than the coaching hire they made last year, because you knew that Kirk Cousins is going to give you 30 touchdowns, 3,500 yards, and Justin Jefferson's going to do his thing. Dalvin Cook's going to do his thing, but it was all dependent on that defense. So you're absolutely right. Hit the nail on the head.
Thanks, man.
Eric, how do we feel?
Pretty good. I'm happy to see Flores still getting jobs and, moving up the ladder again. So, I mean, I think he deserves to be a head coach. I thought he was
Still got
one.
He got
railroaded in Miami.
sure.
So
he got fleeced.
I think he needs another shot. So this is one step towards that. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, and I think the perspective of, if things don't work out with Kevin O'Connell, having a backup option that'll, another culture-changing guy, it seems like, and a great defensive mind, which the Vikings have been known for defensively with Mike Zimmer up until him being fired. It's not a bad idea. And they have so many problems on the defensive side of the ball. They could not stop Daniel Dimes whatsoever in the playoff game.
No.
Daniel Deesh.
I mean, had they stopped him twice, they probably would have won. So needed a change.
Yeah.
49ers, another defensive coordinator hire after they lost DeMeco Ryans. The 49ers hired Steve Wilks. I think both of these hires are on the same level of playing field, 2 former head coaches. I think this is a great hire, Luigi.
I agree. Absolutely agree. A lot of Panthers fans wanted him to stick around in Carolina. But, I'm happy with the move we made. I think he's going to fit in perfectly. He's a very low-key guy, not a big personality, and coaches a great defense year in and year out. So this year he helped Carolina be one of the top 10 defenses in the league for the majority of the season. So I'm cool with it. Very, very cool with it. And type of guy that I don't know if he'll necessarily be a head coach very soon. So maybe we'll get to keep a coordinator for once, but I don't think so. I think that actually after this year, Wilkes is going to get hired after what he does with the 49er defense. That's my not very hot. That's my just medium take that I got here from this hire.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, lukewarm take.
Yeah, well, especially with inheriting the talent that is on the defense already.
Yeah.
It's expected to continue on what was already built. So which went from Saleh to DeMeco Ryans now to Steve Wilks.
It's a great passing of the torch.
Oh yeah.
Like fantastic.
Couldn't have asked for any better.
I just want Saleh or DeMeco back, but I'm not mad with Steve Wilks.
Yeah, especially after 49ers players were. I mean, I saw a report there was a good portion of them that wanted to keep him and don't understand why Frank Reich was hired. We'll see what happens. I mean, Carolina's a poverty franchise also at times. So
except for the one time Cam said, I'm going to carry a whole football team.
Yeah, and not dive on the football.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cam.
Shout out, Zach. Broncos.
Yeah. The last time the Broncos made the playoffs.
Yeah.
We've won the whole thing, so watch out for the next time we make it.
Super Bowl 50, 7 years ago.
Coming up on the 10-year anniversary.
Coming up on the 10-year anniversary. Coming up on being the Jets.
Oh my God.
Jets. Yep. So there's that.
It would be so Jets not to get Aaron Rodgers, though.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, it really would.
Jets.
And it would be so Raiders to get Rodgers and then go 4-9 next year.
Yeah.
Or 4 and whatever.
Whatever.
Well, Zach, you were talking about the offensive line. It's like, it's trash.
It's garbage. It's terrible. And they have the 7th pick, so they probably should. If they get one of these guys, they're going to have to take a lineman. Probably a tackle. But then they have a problem because their only, good offensive lineman is their left tackle, Colton Miller, and then everyone else is beans. So they're going to take a tackle that hopefully is okay with playing right, or they're going to reach on a guard.
No shot. They draft a guard at 8.
7.
There's
Even
no
worse.
Quentin Nelson out there.
Exactly. Or they're going to take a defensive player who's going to be gross, and then their O-line is still going to be trash, and they're not going to win any games because.
Clellan Ferrell.
Yeah, there you go. Or they could do that crap.
Yeah. Draft a backup.
We don't really need to draft for talent in the NFL. We could just draft for nice guys.
Well, they just want fast guys. They're carrying on the Al Davis legacy.
Speed kills.
Speed.
Just
Watch
run,
you
baby.
gunning 156, baby.
156.
Just run, baby.
Just run, baby.
Al Davis
Oh
is
my
like,
God.
could have gone a little bit faster there.
Yeah. Should have been going 158. Don't know why it wasn't.
That pedal was not to the floor, Henry.
Good Raiders transition into Derek Carr, as we almost talked about earlier, and continuing on the potential quarterback carousel. Derek Carr is visiting the Saints. I'm not sure what day, but it's been said that he's going to go to New Orleans to visit.
He'll be there.
The Raiders want a 3rd-round pick, which I thought they would want more. But
Yeah, man.
I mean, if you're going to trade the same value that you traded for Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz, give them to me, man.
Damn. Yeah.
I'll throw it. I mean, if I'm the Saints, I'll throw a 3rd-round pick. I don't care.
Sure.
100%. After
Now-
just getting a 2nd-round pick from the Broncos, heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Aren't the Saints like perpetually out of money though, like every year?
Yes.
So
Very much.
where are they? How are they paying this guy?
It's a good question.
Obviously, they
That's a
can
great
pay him.
question.
if
I
they're-
mean, for some reason, they're paying Taysom Hill like $30 million a year.
yeah,
That just
Yeah.
like perplexes the crap out of me.
oh, it's so stupid. They have $60 million. That doesn't seem right.
Oh, in
No.
cap space?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
Well,
they
think-
fixed it.
Think about it. I mean, when we would go through this, they would have Drew Brees.
Who are they not?
Yeah, they
who are
paid off
paying?
his contract then.
They paid off his contract.
Oh, they're only
Um,
paying a few.
Teron
guys.
Armstead, they let
Yep,
go.
they let go of his huge contract.
I mean, they still have
Uh,
Alvin Kamara's contract, but
Ramchek's contract.
What?
Cam Jordan paying a lot of money. Demario Davis, I think, is going to be a free agent, so that's probably accounted for.
they
in that
didn't pay
situation.
Marcus Williams, right?
They did not. He's gone. He's on.
Yeah, he's on
Ravens.
the Ravens now.
One, two,
They
three,
did
four,
just
five,
pay.
6, 7, 8.
What's his face?
They have
Honey
8
Badger.
guys between 10 and 20 million a year, and then 3 guys above 20. But
3 guys above 20. Who's getting above 20?
Ramchick's at 21, Lattimore's at 22, and Cam Jordan's at 25.7. So he's almost at 26.
Yeah, 25-7. Holy!
Can you run through that
shit.
again?
Ryan Ramchick is at 21.4.
It's about right.
Marshawn Lattimore, 22.4.
That's got to
and
be like the highest.
Cam
paid
Jordan,
corner.
25.7.
Damn.
Damn.
And then, they got 8 guys between 10 and 20. And then
Like
other
Kamara,
than that, it's
Taysom
like
Hill, Michael Thomas.
Yeah, dude, they've been paying
Jameis.
Michael Thomas for forever, and he hasn't
those
done anything.
guys are
Demario
David
Davis.
Onyemata, Eric McCoy, Demario Davis, Mike Thomas, Taysom Hill, Jameis, Alvin Kamara, and Andrews Pete.
That's their whole offensive and defensive line, and then their 2 quarterbacks.
They're only paying Tyrann Matthew 8.9.
It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's a good point
Very good
because
deal.
I mean, if the Raiders only want a 3rd-round pick for Derek Carr, he's expensive, and they also have Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston on contract.
Yeah, it's just if they keep the 2 of them around, which they kind of have to, unless they're going to cut one and eat all that cap space.
Can they trade Jameis?
I mean, they could.
Like a 5th?
To where, like the Panthers?
Who's taking Jameis? Jameis is
Yeah.
such old news.
Maybe like Arizona, who's a loner QB, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess he feels like a backup at this point.
I think he's kind of into that realm now. Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to trade
I
my
wanted
Tom
him to
Brady
be good in New
prediction
Orleans.
and make it a Derek Carr prediction because I still think that the team that may have the best position for a quarterback to come into is the Seattle Seahawks.
They're keeping Gino.
They're keeping
Yeah.
Gino, bro.
The news
Yeah.
came out that the news
Yeah.
came out this week that both
What?
Gino and Daniel Jones are getting extensions. They're
What?
not getting tagged. They're getting
man.
extensions.
Zach, bro, if you were the Seahawks GM after the year that he had after giving up Russell Wilson, would you not sign Geno Smith?
Heck.
Answer that question.
And also, buddy, the best place for a quarterback to go right now is San Francisco. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a different story.
Yeah.
You know what? Because I have a heart, I would sign him. You have to sign him. But if I was able to like be so cold as to not care that if I could be super cold, I would get rid of him because I know that the future is not.
No, just be you, bro. You're the GM of the Seahawks. It doesn't matter how
I'm
cold
gonna
or
have
warm
to, I'm
you
gonna
are.
have to sign him.
Yeah,
you have to.
He'd get 2 years.
Bro, you act like this is a knife in the heart. Like, you just freaking sign him, bro. He threw for over 4,000 yards. He led the Seahawks to 9 wins.
Listen,
like,
he was a
and
Pro
it's a
Bowler.
fluke.
Yeah,
It's a fluke.
well,
He's
that
Geno
doesn't
Smith.
matter. That statistic
It's a
does
fluke.
not matter.
It's a fluke. He's Geno Smith.
It is not a fluke, bro.
It's a fluke. Watch. It's a fluke.
Can we take a quick second for me to do a 49ers rant?
Yeah.
How are we so good without a quarterback? We don't have a franchise quarterback. We haven't had one for a decade. What are we doing? Like, where are we going?
You have
Why do
so
we
many
think it's
gross
okay
things, bro.
to just do nothing with the grossest roster in football? Absolutely disgusting. Just abundantly ridiculous. We literally have a top 5 player in every single position except quarterback, where we don't even have a top 15 player. Why on earth, on the planet of Earth, do we do this to ourselves year in and year out? Oh my God, I'm done. Both with the rant and the 49ers not having a quarterback.
It's frustrating. I don't get it, bro.
Yeah.
Dude.
I really don't. Like, I wish I could.
We could have picked, I guess I'm not done. We could have picked Justin Fields. He was right there. And I'm still so salty. And I think for the rest of my life, because that was in a prime memory spot for Luigi's life, I will always be upset with that.
Who'd you
think
take,
now-
Javon Kinlaw?
Would I take Javon Kinlaw?
No, who'd you
Went
take?
after
No,
Javon.
they freaking took
Oh,
Trey
we
Lance.
took Trey
bro.
Lance.
Oh,
They
No.
traded 3 first-round picks to take Trey Lance,
Hmm.
who hasn't seen the field.
And
Mhm.
Javon Kinlaw pick also is coming back to eat our butts. Like,
yeah. Who
Wasn't
would
he
you
like
rather
decent last year?
Yeah. I
no,
thought
he
he
didn't
fine.
play
He's-
last year. And this year he also didn't
Oh,
play.
he was hurt last year.
He's been
yeah.
hurt forever.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Can't wait for the
Yeah.
NFL draft where they tell us why every player that gets taken is exactly the kind of player you like to see.
We could have it's unbelievable the amount of good players we could have picked. Oh, yeah, we
Who
did.
was-
Actually, the draft kind of blows, not gonna lie.
Zach, who was the second coming of Kyle Pitts or whoever, the tight end?
Oh my god!
Oh,
Some
the kid
random-
from Virginia.
That was
Yeah,
like
some-
6'7".
The guy
some
from
ran-
Virginia.
Yeah, random Virginia tight end.
Jelani
that was-
Woods.
Yeah, he was
Is that
on
him?
NFL Network at like 1:00
He's
on
on
a
the
Tuesday.
Colts.
He's this enormous man. So for reference, if anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, Kyle Pitts is like 6'4", right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a 6'4" tight end who plays like a wide receiver. He's fast. He's lean. He's disgusting. And then this TV station had the nerve to take a 6'7" giant who is slow and huge and say this is the next. Some say you're the next coming of Kyle Pitts. How do you feel about that in an interview to this man? And he had
He
to
was-
answer seriously.
He was ranked like the 5th or 6th tight end. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts was taken 4th overall in the entire draft.
Generational talent, Kyle Pitts. All right. So that's our rant about Jelani Woods.
Craig McGrath says the first
Ridiculous.
Super Bowl I remember is XXI, which was 1987, the Giants' first Super Bowl. What is the first Super Bowl you remember?
Well, we're in the L's now, so X is like you got to catch up a little bit here.
I don't know what number it is, but it's the Colts Saints Super Bowl.
Yeah, I remember that Super Bowl.
That is that is one of my like first
Oh,
football
yeah.
memories.
Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. Yeah, I guess I remember that as
XLIV.
well.
So what's that? 44.
Yeah,
13 years
or-
ago, 2010.
2010.
That's
Yeah, I
the
mean,
first
I-
Super Bowl.
That might be the first one that I remember too, because I remember
was a
watching
sick
the
Super Bowl,
press ahead of time. But that's really all I remember. I don't remember the game.
Eric, how about you?
Definitely losing to the Giants in 2007.
Yeah, well,
Remember, I think that was like the first one I probably stayed up to watch the whole thing because obviously it was my team. Like, and just remember crying my eyes out, like as a 7-year-old, just like miserable. And yeah, so not good memories of my first Super Bowl.
Wait, I'm gonna recant my statement because I definitely remember some of these Super Bowls before. Okay, my first Super Bowl is actually the one before the Colts Saints Super Bowl, and it was the Steelers
Pittsburgh.
Cardinals Super
Yeah.
Bowl. That is the first Super Bowl that I remember.
Yeah, I think it's Giants, New England, obviously for me.
Which was the year before the Steelers Cardinals one.
Yeah, but I was gonna say first before I realized that it was before that. I was gonna say Steelers Cardinals because of Palomalu and said the Santonio Holmes catch and Big Ben,
James Harrison return,
Kurt Warner. Yeah, that was a super memorable Super Bowl, but definitely Giants Pats was the first one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, around 8 years old. I mean, I think Craig was born in 1980, so 1987. Yeah, he was 7. He was around the same age. I feel like that's the prime age.
And if had I been a Giants fan or a Patriots fan, that would be 100% the Super Bowl that I remember first. But
yeah,
I think about that that Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl.
Right. So yeah, so the Super Bowl 57, we're going to get to that. 1979, but thank you. I'm sorry. I was off by a year. I made you.
He was giving you a year, Craig. Come on.
Yeah, you don't need to correct me.
You got to take that.
Unless you want to be a year older, then we can, that's fine. So Derek Carr, we'll see what happens. Lamar Jackson, feeling around the league is that he will be franchise tag, and the trade calls when that happens will go berserk. Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, the potential of him being traded. They don't want to pay. The Ravens don't want to pay anywhere near what he wants. And, I mean,
I can't believe we're going to see Lamar Jackson in a non-Ravens jersey.
It's good, though. They don't deserve him.
No, they don't.
No.
I fully agree, but it's just going to be weird. I don't know. Where's he going?
Jets, baby.
He looks
okay. So Rodgers and Lamar are going to the Jets.
They're just going to run a
2 QB system.
Yeah, they're going to run a hybrid offense, and then Zach Wilson will come in every once in a while. They'll run a read option with Lamar and Zach Wilson.
Oh God!
Triple option RPO. I mean, I like that already.
Lamar turns into a true running back / wide receiver.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, probably if.
Who do you want to go there more?
Lamar.
Really?
No, I don't want Lamar. Well, I'd be happy with either of them. I think I'd rather see Rodgers there. I think they'd have a better chance to win with Rodgers, but long term, obviously Lamar.
Yeah.
I think Lamar Jackson is going to go to the Seattle Seahawks.
Dude, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Shut up.
Stop with this Geno trash, bro. He's so much better than the quarterback.
I'll give up.
He's just a never Seattle guy. It's
never Seattle.
I think what's going to happen is Rodgers to the Raiders, Lamar to the Jets.
The Bears.
That's probably most realistic.
Trade Justin Fields in the first overall pick for Lamar Jackson.
That would be a bad trade by the Bears. Like a really bad trade by the Bears. You're basically getting the same thing.
I'm just
losing your first overall pick. And he's older, exactly.
The Lions trade both of their first round picks this year.
No.
For Lamar Jackson.
I don't think the Pats will do it, but
the Lions, I said.
That'd be enticing, correct, Eric?
The Pats would be very, because that's the thing is they always point out in the Boston media that like Bill Belichick has never praised an opposing player more than Lamar Jackson. Like he is obsessed with Lamar Jackson. So I don't know. I think it'd be very interesting.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
That run game, they'd run for 400 yards a game. They'd run for 400 yards a game.
They wouldn't throw the ball.
They would not throw the football. He'd be like, single wing, let's rock.
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready.
Oh my God. And they would do it so well.
Yeah.
They would do it so well.
They would be awesome. So yeah, I mean, I think in Belichick's dream scenario, they figure out a way to get him, but I don't see that happening.
Belichick's dream really is running the single wing, huh?
Yeah.
But they got
totally
Billy O
is.
back. They got a nice OC.
Maybe he learned from Navy football or whatever. I think it was Navy football.
Navy,
where his
right.
dad coached.
His dad was a coach in Navy, yeah.
Yeah.
Trade the future away for Lamar and D-Hop and ride.
Let's go.
I mean, are you really trading the future away? If you could somehow get Mac off your hands,
flip
get
Mac
him-
to the Ravens.
Throw him in the
Okay.
trade. Put him in the trade.
listen, all right. So
Yeah.
Mac to the Ravens and a first rounder for Lamar Jackson, right? And then a second round straight up for D-Hop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you even giving up the future? No, you're giving
Not
up
really.
one year of picks.
Yeah.
That's it. That I mean,
Which
if the
Patriots have
Pats,
not had a ton.
if the
lately
Pats
anyway.
can do that, contender immediately, just like instantaneously.
Well, I know Mac obviously was a first rounder, but do you think at minimum it would require 2 first-round picks and Mac?
No. Mac's competent.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I
seeing
don't think so.
Let's hear
30
GM in the corner over here.
Yeah,
What are you
come on,
thinking?
Seahawks GM.
no, I'm seeing $37.988 million in cap space available projected for the New England Patriots this upcoming year. So we're a little bit tight for what this guy's going to be wanting.
What's
to
the
get
franchise
paid.
tag for a
Tight?
quarterback?
That's
though?
like top 10, dude. That's not
Yeah.
tight at all. That's a really good cap space.
No, I mean
Don't-
for paying Lamar Jackson because he's going to want. Like
well, no, he's
30
going to get
plus
a
million.
this year
He
he'll
wants a
get-
guaranteed contract, so he doesn't want he's not going to be a huge cap hit.
Well, this year he's going to be a franchise tag if he is traded.
Yeah.
So what's the franchise hit on a quarterback?
Oh, a lot.
Let's see.
It's like 32.
I mean, they could pay it. They wouldn't be able to. I mean, I feel like Eric. I feel like most of their team right now is
32-4.
under contract.
Ooh,
Is it
that's
not?
close.
The
It's
Patriots,
32-4.
yeah, because
You
they
were
went
really
on that
close to the
big.
The spending
they
spree
went
like
on
2
that-
years ago.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, they went on a spending spree. So all those guys at least have one more year, if not 2.
Yeah. That was a terrible
So-
spending spree.
It
Other than
was.
Judon,
Really?
all of those missed other than Judon. Hunter Henry's okay.
Henry's caught a couple touchdowns. He was way better than I can't even name the other tight end. What's his
For what
name? Jesus.
Johnny
Jonnu
Smith.
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Smith has done.
For what
nothing.
they paid him though, I mean.
Yeah, it's not great.
You're not paying anybody. How do you have?
They hit really good on Judon though. That was great.
You're really not paying anybody. I'm surprised you don't have more cap space. $40 million.
Yeah, I don't know.
Almost 40 million.
Yeah, I mean, I think things are going to shake up. With the reports I've seen, I don't see Lamar being a Raven after this year
Not if
or
they're
after
going to
this
tag him.
offseason. Yeah, no, if they're going to tag him, he's gone. He's not playing at least there under the tag. He'll probably play somewhere else, and then they'll sign him to a long-term deal. The problem is, I don't know if Bill historically hasn't really done that. So
No, so I don't know. It'll be.
But something
I
Bill
doubt it,
historically
but-
would do is take him for the franchise tag, not pay him, and get D-Hop on his last year or 2 of contract, win a Super Bowl, and then dump both of them.
Yep, and then figure it out from there.
And literally
or ride
not,
off into the sunset there.
yeah,
even.
or ride off in the sunset. Exactly.
right, because you
Or-
got to think about his timetable now.
Yeah.
Like if you're
Yeah,
him, like
yeah.
what's the point in holding back?
Yeah, you might as well go all out. You have so
Yeah.
much control at such an age, you might as well go all out. And Bill's not the type of guy that would ruin the franchise either, so he would figure out a
No, he
way
wouldn't.
to salvage stuff too. Or Bill's like, screw it, last year, pays everybody every dime, gives everybody the biggest contract, wins a Super Bowl, and then just dips. And it's like, all right, everybody can figure this out. But
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm in the trade machine right now for the NFL. Lamar for Mac and a first rounder and next year's first rounder and this year's second rounder. For whatever reason, this year's first round. I don't know if the Patriots have a first round pick this year.
probably not.
'Cause it
They
doesn't-
never really do.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they do. So I did next year's first round and this year's second round, and it did not go through. So I think I got to keep pushing.
Other people are they're putting their trade at higher value.
Yeah, I guess so. Damn.
Yeah, no, I think I want to say, like, I know if they franchise tag him, they won't have as much leverage as they would normally, I
Mhm.
guess, on maybe his rookie deal. But I would think he's at least worth 2 first rounders.
Yeah.
But with injury history, you never know. So we'll see. Washington undecided on Chase Young's 5th-year option. Would you exercise it if you were the Commanders?
I would, and only because if they don't and he ends up playing really good, they're
Cheaper.
going to have to give him the bag.
Yeah.
So just in terms of money, I think he in himself is worth that risk of paying him still a lot of money for a 5th season. But I think they should do it. I think he's such a talent that even with all the injuries, it'd most likely be cheaper to keep him.
Yeah. I think he'd be cheaper. Zach, you look puzzled over there.
I'm just looking through draft prospects to see what.
The Seahawks GM would never exercise Chase Young's 5th-year option.
Well, not if he's being cold.
No.
Yeah, if he's being cold on the day. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to, based on what you'd pay him, as you said, Luigi, if you didn't give it to him. And it's not like he's a quarterback where you're going to break the bank, ultimately. And you haven't seen all that much of him. He hasn't not been healthy.
Yep.
So I think they have to going forward. You took him 2nd overall. It'd be really hard not to 5th-year him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You kind of wasted that point. Commanders owner Dan Snyder expected to sell the team in a few weeks. Cool.
Great.
Good.
So long.
Thank
good.
you. Get out
Peace
of
out.
my face.
Send him on the bus to his son.
Yeah, he can go. He can drive if he
He
wants.
should be in the sun as is.
He definitely should be.
Goodell says refs are doing great, in quotations. I don't think it's ever been better.
You're such an idiot.
I literally don't think I could like a person less.
What a clown.
He's a blind man.
You're a blind man. You're a blind clown.
You're a blind man in a clown's shoes.
What an idiot.
He should.
We talked at length about this last week. It's not true.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, the way that I listened to Gene Steratore talk about it on
Gene Steratore.
You don't like Gene Steratore?
Get on the field if you want to be a ref.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
You're yelling at refs to be on the field now.
Stupid.
He's a big name.
I just don't. No. I think it's bull crap that he has a position like that when I, who didn't need to study the NFL rulebook, make every single call the exact same as Gene Steratore. And he gets paid millions of dollars to do it.
So you're not rocking with Mike Pereira either?
No, Mike Pereira's worse.
He's been doing it
worse.
He was first. He was the first guy.
He's worse because he did it first.
And then what about Dean Blandino?
Dude, Dean Blandino couldn't be more useless.
I think if you had
Dean Blandino's young. The other two at least are older guys. Stupid.
Rank
Rank
the three in usefulness.
they're all Dean's last. Dead last. Like couldn't be worse than last. It's tough. It's tough because Pereira's got the experience. But
so now you're commending Pereira.
but no, I'm saying just in terms of him versus Steratore. But Steratore's got the name recognition. So I'm gonna have to go with Steratore, Pereira, and then way beyond all three of their crap is stupid ass Dean Blandino. Because Dean Blandino is in his 40s and still should be reffing.
Yeah, he should still be a ref.
We got guys on that field that are like 60 as it is. And you got Dean Blandino, I'm gonna drink my beer and talk about the rules. Screw you, Dean.
Get out of here, Dean.
You.
There's been
wait, real quick.
Go ahead.
If I could get any of their 3 jobs, I would 100%.
No question.
No question.
There's been rumors that CBS might replace Tony Romo with Gene Steratore as the color analyst. Isn't that crazy?
No.
Yeah.
Steratore's not a bad
I'm
voice.
just kidding. They're not going to do that shit.
I was going to say. Well, I don't know. They're probably going to get rid of Romo because he blows.
They better.
Romo should just start a podcast where he talks at himself for 8 hours a day, and then no one watches it.
He should predict what he's going to do during the day. he was good at that.
He was
Yeah.
cool for about 4 games.
Yeah, when he came on the scene,
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh, damn, he's good." Now
Yeah.
he sucks.
Now he thinks he's a superstar.
Yeah,
It's
he's
literally just like his NFL career. They're like, oh, this guy from Eastern Illinois. Okay, all right, cool. All right, he's pretty solid. All right, no, cool. Wait, Jared Jones talking about America's team. Antonio almost eats butt.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? Yeah, just like his career. God.
Yeah, not good. All right, yeah, the refs, Goodell, have not been doing well, other than the ones in the booth. But get Dean Blandino back on the field if you
Get
if you
him
have
on the
option.
field.
So 1 second. I just looked it up. When did he ref? Because he was vice president of officiating from 2013 to 2017, and he's 51. So he hasn't ref since he was at
Dude,
least
he hasn't
40.
been a ref since
Like
he was like
30.
12. Come on.
Yeah,
What do you go to ref school?
yeah. I don't.
College of Goodell's butt?
Yes, he attended that university.
Where's that located, Luigi?
Can Ohio.
Stupid Brown Noser University. Dumb.
McCaffrey wants the rules changed in the NFL of only allowing 2 QBs on a game day roster.
Oh wait.
Sure. Like, it doesn't matter.
Wait.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Go ahead, Hark.
I just clicked further on his Wikipedia. According to his Wikipedia, he never actually was a ref in the NFL.
Dude,
he would oversee.
Who?
Yeah, he would. Blandino.
That's false, bro. I've seen him on a field, 100%.
You have? Okay. All right. All right.
I mean, I feel like I have. Maybe
I don't know if I have.
Maybe I'm
It
hallucinating.
It says he was an intern and then a full-time employee, and that he was assigned to organize instant replay when it was introduced in '99, and then he managed instant
You're telling
replay
me
for
he's
cannot
basically a cop that rose to the ranks.
I cannot
Yeah.
find a single picture of Dean Blandino.
Bro,
in
it's
a
all of
referee's
him in a
outfit.
suit.
Yeah, he never was.
Put him on the bus. Put him
Our
on the
rules
bus.
expert.
Yeah.
We've
Put
been
Dean
lied
Bland
to.
We've
bro.
been bamboozled and schniggled for so long.
He's more like Brian Triglione than we thought.
That's true.
Kind of looks like him too.
He does.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that was phase 1.
Oh.
Phase
Damn,
2
I-
is the
I guess-
weaselness.
I guess I've heard and seen him so much that I actually thought that I've seen him ref a game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you see his face
Yeah.
pop up in the little corner. Oh, we got Dean Blandino on the phone. What do you think, Dean? Well, even though every American has a set of eyes and can watch this shit, I'm going to tell you what happened. Screw you, Dean. Screw you.
There's all these articles where it's like Dean Blandino will look at intentional holding. like he's making the decisions.
Useless. Useless.
Yeah, so I think for like a while when they would say, "Oh, we're going to go to New York for the review or whatever," it was Dean Blandino was the review. Or
Oh,
whatever.
God. Oh,
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
Ugh.
I think that's what it is.
All right, let's
also,
stop
apparently-
talking about that scum.
Apparently, he did stand up for a little while too, and I'm trying to find a video. If I can
He
find it,
would
I will
definitely
get
be
back to
ass.
He's
He
a
would
clown.
definitely be ass. He is a clown.
you.
He's a fool in a man's shoe.
He's a fool in a man's shoe.
Brady will start broadcasting for Fox in the fall of 2024.
Who cares?
We get a year off, and then he'll be
Thank
back.
God.
Or will he be playing football?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, or surprise, I'm back again.
Well, what day? How many days out of 41 days or 40 days are we into it right now?
I don't know when he retired.
Like a week ago.
7
A
days
week ago. A week
7
ago. Yeah.
days ago.
We're a week in. He's
We're a
doing
week
strong.
in. 4 more
Yeah.
weeks to go.
We will see. All right.
Yeah, it's gonna
Go ahead,
be-
Eric.
Did we talk about this last week about the whole thing with him and Greg Olson and what's going to happen if he's going to jump up to the number 1 spot? We did. I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
They
we
said
did.
he's
Yeah.
gonna be the number 1. They
Yeah.
said he's
Yeah.
walking in as number 1 day 1, which makes sense. It's Tom
Yeah.
Brady.
Do we know how long Olson's contract is? Can we get a trade for Tony Romo possibly?
Ooh, we could get a trade.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
I mean, yeah, I think I did say last week, like him and Nance would be awesome together.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I want to say, I don't know how long Tony Romo's contract is, but he's getting paid a boatload also.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. That's a good idea,
Yeah.
Eric. We should trade. All right, let's get into the bulk of it. Super Bowl the Super Bowl 57 matchup, the number one Chiefs 14-3 in the regular season. Their head coach is Andy Reid, Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer. 10th season as the head coach of the Chiefs. He won Super Bowl 54, and now he's back for his second Super Bowl as Chiefs head coach. He's facing his former team in the Eagles, who are also the 1 seed in the NFC, 14-3 also in the regular season, 1.5-point favorites to the Eagles. They're coached by Nick Sirianni in his second season. This is his first Super Bowl as a head coach. He's on a 10-year deal, Aaron.
We got to hear his ass for another 6 years. Or no,
Dude, let's
4
throw
years.
in can we
4
throw in a
years?
Broncos first round pick for Fox, bro? Can we just trade that?
Wait, why do you want him on Fox though?
No, we're gonna see.
So
I
he's
guess
the
the other
number
way
2.
around.
So he goes down.
No,
to
we-
number 2 on
we want-
Fox.
yeah,
No,
we
he's
want
on
Greg Olsen.
CBS.
Yeah, no, we want Greg Olsen to get
Yeah.
traded for Romo though,
Yeah.
because then Brady will take the number 1 spot on Fox, and we won't have to deal with
Yeah.
Romo.
No, Brady's gonna be number 1. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, but we like Greg Olsen. That's the thing. We'd like to see Olsen still in a number 1 position, and Romo just anywhere not.
So we're
near it.
trading Greg Olsen for Romo,
Oh.
so Romo doesn't have the opportunity to be a number 1 because he's going to be at Fox,
Oh, okay. That took me a while.
and Brady will be number 1
Yeah.
at Fox.
That took me a while. Sorry.
All right.
All right, the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Super
keep going.
Bowl.
Sorry, guys.
I'm sure you guys have seen these teams statistically have been incredibly similar throughout the regular season. I think they both went 16-3 and 546 points or something like that.
Yep, spot
Yeah,
on, man.
spot
Great,
on.
great,
Identical.
Great recall.
Position battles. We did this last year. We'll go through them. We'll decide which one's better. Starting with the head coach, though. I mean, I think this is easy for me. It's Andy Reid. Experience.
Nothing against Sirianni. It's
No,
just,
he's done a great job.
No.
it's just Reid. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I think we all agree on that
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, it has to be.
I think a
Andy.
lot of these are going to be pretty unanimous.
I agree. QB battle. Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts both have had great seasons. Patrick Mahomes probably will be the MVP, but Jalen Hurts has been in the MVP running for
He'll be the runner-up.
the entire season. He went 16-1 when he was healthy and starting on the year. But I mean, yeah, you can't Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes.
Yeah.
100%.
Mhm.
And it's nothing. Once again, nothing against Hurts. Just when you're going against the number 1 quarterback in the league, you're either number 2 or you're not. You're either close enough or you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's
Did
not quite there.
you see what some reporter said to Hurts yesterday at media day? Basically, he was like, I didn't think you were going to be a good quarterback, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Hurts was
Yes,
just
I
like,
did
okay.
see
Yeah,
that.
Hurts goes, cool. I think he
Yeah.
literally just goes, oh, cool.
Yeah, that is-
Yeah, he did.
A reporter said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, I don't
Sick.
have a question, but I just wanted to tell you that I didn't think you were going to be good, and I'm sorry. And he goes, cool.
Yeah. It's like,
thing is, I think
great.
if it ever comes back to the Northeast, I think we should try and get credentialed for media day, because it seems like they let anybody in there.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
There's like TikTokers in there. And
yeah,
Yeah.
like kids asking questions. Like, we don't need to hear that. I mean, let me ask a question.
yeah, right?
Get Eric in there.
Sick, bro. You
yeah.
doubted me? That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I'm in the
Sick.
Super Bowl, so you can
Yeah.
screw off.
yeah.
All right, running back. We gave the advantage to Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. Running back for the Chiefs, Isaiah Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. For the Eagles, Miles Sanders, the myth of Boston Scott, and Kenneth Gainwell. I think in terms of a running back room, Miles Sanders was a 1,000-yard runner. Isaiah Pacheco's done a great job for the Chiefs, but as a room, when Boston Scott is a name in the room, you can't not take them. So I'm going to give advantage to the Eagles.
I think that these guys on the Chiefs have played well. I like what Isaac Pacheco can bring to the table, but the Eagles have just been so efficient all year long. And you're right, you got to give a little dub to Boston Scott there. We like a little Boston Scott.
I'm going to give it to the Eagles, but not because of Boston Scott.
Why, bro? He's amazing.
Because Miles Sanders has been pretty darn
Yeah,
good
he's
this
been
year.
good.
Not his best year, but he's been better than any of the other guys that you've listed. I do say that this is one of the closer races, though, because Pacheco and McKinnon have been outstanding. But when you have all three of your running backs scoring a touchdown in the NFC Championship game, I think you're going to win that battle. And maybe they've just looked better because of the O-line. But.
Yeah, I agree. The one thing I feel like the Chiefs, I feel like Jacob doesn't play as much as I feel like he should be. I feel like they share way too much of the reps.
Yeah,
and
I
don't
mean,
know.
what year is he
Yeah.
in? He's young,
Rookie.
right?
Yeah,
he's a rookie.
That's what I
Rookie
thought.
out of Rutgers.
Oh,
And funny
Yeah.
enough, both of those number one running backs are Jersey guys.
Wow.
that is true. And Miles Sanders from Jersey also went to Penn State. So East Coast guys.
Yeah.
So we given the advantage, obviously, to the Eagles.
The Schmeegs. This next one is comical.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
The next two are comical.
I had a lot. I cannot wait until we get to defensive tackle because I had a great time writing this because it's just absurd. But we have a ways to go.
All right, we'll get there.
Wide receivers for the Chiefs are Juju Smith-Schuster, who says that the best Philly cheesesteaks are not in Philly. Cool, man.
Facts.
Dude.
What? That's a fact?
That's facts.
Where have you had a better one?
Connecticut.
Where?
Ray and Mike's.
That's not a Philly cheesecake.
They can make it that way if you want.
if you ask them kindly.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
If you ask them on not a cold day, on a warm day. Yeah. Wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and the traitor Benedict Arnold of Kadarius Toney. Wide receivers for the Eagles, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Quez Watkins. It is easily the Eagles for me.
By a landslide, the Eagles.
Yeah.
By 20 landslides.
Except I like MVS. He's pretty solid. But, I mean, Juju and Kadarius Toney are just both memes. So
Young Joker.
Yeah.
We'll smell you.
I need the Eagles to lose because I'm a Giants fan, but I will be so salty if I see Kadarius Toney on the Super Bowl stage holding the Lombardi trophy.
Yeah, come on, bro. Come on. You don't want to see that.
No, I don't want to see that, but I can't see the Eagles win either. So it's like
I'm
going to pick the team to lose rather than one guy winning.
It's fair.
So just had to throw that in there. Advantage to the Eagles. So the Eagles or the Chiefs currently have the head coaching and quarterback advantage, and the running back and wide receiver advantage goes to the Eagles. Tight end, Travis Kelce for the Chiefs and Dallas Goedert for the Eagles. Both very good tight ends, but Travis Kelce is the better one here.
Head and shoulders above everyone else at the position. I just can't say enough about Travis Kelce. Stud.
And there's no disrespect to Dallas Goedert, but, let's not be ridiculous.
Yeah, he's head and shoulders. It's like he's so much better than everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Arc, same. You concur?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree completely with Kelce.
Yeah, I think it's hard not to.
Jesus. Yeah. I just saw the D tackle list.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait to talk about it because it's insane. Left tackle and right tackle. The left tackle for the Chiefs is Orlando Brown. The right tackle is Joe Wiley. The left tackle for the Eagles is Jordan Mailata. And the right tackle for the Eagles is Lane Johnson. Just based on the way that the Eagles have played on the offensive line, I think in either of these categories, we'll get to the guards in the center after this, but I have to give it to the Eagles. I absolutely really like Orlando Brown, but Joe Wiley brings them down a little bit in that category, and Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson have just been great all season.
I believe every single lineman on the Eagles offensive line is like top 7 PFF rank.
Yeah, I think they might even be top 5.
I think they might be top 5, but I thought I was getting advantageous saying that. I like Orlando Brown as the better left tackle, and I like Lane Johnson as the better right tackle. But as Matt mentioned seconds ago, Joe Wiley kind of brings it down. He's a little lesser than Mailata, so I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with the Eagles too. For the same reason. We'll go with the law of averages.
Yeah, I agree with Zach. Also Lane Johnson has been playing like a beast with what, torn groin or
Torn
something like
groin.
that.
Wild injury.
Wild. So yeah, he's. I have him. If he was healthy, it'd be even more.
Yeah, if he was healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's the second right tackle on PFF, and Jordan Mailata is the fifth left tackle. So
Wow.
like insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, advantage to the Eagles in the tackle arena. Left guard, center, and right guard for the Chiefs, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey, who's been awesome, and Trey Smith. And then for the Eagles, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, and Isaac Sumalo.
I think it's like Suamalu.
Suamalo. I have to give it to the Eagles here as well. I think Creed Humphrey is the probably second best out of the three of these after Jason Kelsey. But Jason Kelsey and Landon Dickerson have been awesome this year. And then Isaac has been, top 5 on PFF right guard anyways. So the law of averages here makes them better as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
those are two very good interior offensive lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good. Very, very good.
Yeah, that's really tough.
I'm leaning Eagles for sure. But at the same time, I don't know if that's bias because of the PFF grading. And now, if I'm going forward in a career, I absolutely want. Actually, you don't even know because Suamalu and Dickerson are both young too. Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey are both in their second year. So is Dickerson. Suamalu's in his third year. Tooney's in his sixth year, and Kelsey's going to retire after he wins the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm gonna go Eagles. I want to say a tie though, really.
I think it's close.
But I'm gonna go Eagles, just like a smidge.
I like my guy Joe Tooney used to be a Pat, but I think the Eagles are. I don't know. The Eagles have been so good all year, and I don't know. Landon Dickerson, and Kelsey are really good. So I don't know. I think I'll agree with you guys on the Eagles.
I'll give a vote to the Chiefs just so that it's someone speaks for the Chiefs because these are 3 really talented.
He speaks for the
interior
Chiefs.
guys. I speak for my rival.
The Speaks interior offensive line.
They're really talented. They deserve some props.
Wait. I'm not going to let that pass. They're not your rival. They beat the crap out of you. I'm sorry.
My dad.
We did almost like that.
Yeah, your father. That's a good one.
Kansas City, my dad's. But it doesn't matter. The Eagles have this overall anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you match up their 5 offensive linemen versus the other 5, just straight up, I mean, it's the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles have been the number 1 offensive line all year. Not that the Chiefs have a bad offensive line by any means, but it's just it's hard to be better than that offensive line.
It really is. It's very difficult.
Howie Roseman's done such a fantastic job with this team.
Superb.
All right, so advantage to the offensive line of the Eagles. Now onto the defensive side of the ball. Left and right ends for the Chiefs are George Karlaftis and Frank Clark. The D ends for the Eagles are Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, and Robert Quinn. I honestly thought, I don't really know what to think here because I think both of these teams I think this is a very small margin, if anything, and I really don't know who to pick. So I'll go to you guys first.
I'm going with Karlaftis and Clark. Brandon Graham and Sweat are both very one-dimensional players. Not that they're bad at all at their play, because they're both very dominant. But Graham is power rush, Sweat's a speed rush. Quinn could do both, but he's way past his prime at this point. I say way past as if he didn't have 18 sacks last year.
Yeah.
But he's just past his prime. I mean, he hit his stride last year. Clark and Karlaftis, especially Clark, they consistent all year. Karlaftis being a rookie and doing what he can do. I'm taking them. I once, like Matt said, very small small margin, but I'm taking Karlaftis and Clark.
Zach?
I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles for the experience of Brandon Graham and Robert Quinn, two guys that have been doing it at the top of the league for a super long time. And Josh Sweat is an interesting guy because he is a speed rusher, but he's not as quick as Montez Sweat. But, maybe I am thinking of Montez Sweat, actually.
You're thinking of Montez.
Are they even related, Zach?
I was going to say he's got speed to cover the flat, but I'm thinking of Montez Sweat.
He's not as quick as this unrelated individual that has the same last name.
All right,
They just really have the same last name. That's really it.
That's pretty much it. He's a speed rusher, and that's it. But I'm still going to stick with the Eagles. Brandon Graham and Robert Quinn is more than enough to convince me.
The experience is huge. I agree.
Yeah.
Eric?
Yeah, I agree with Zach. And also, Graham has played another Super Bowl, had a big sack in that Patriots Super Bowl. As much as I hated every second of it, he was a good player, really good player in that game. So I think having that experience coming back in this game is huge for him and like the group as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough because this position group for the Eagles is like 3 guys out of like 10 that they have that are so good. So like the pass rushers in general, the front, however many guys,
the front
is the
7.
Eagles.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
If I were to have to pick Frank Clark versus the 3 of them, I'd pick Frank Clark in this Super Bowl.
Okay.
And I think Brandon Graham is the experience that Brandon Graham has in playoff games and being an Eagle for as long as he has been is monumental. But I don't feel like Robert Quinn has been all that impactful. I know Josh Sweat came off like a hospital injury, essentially. He did have a 1.5 sacks in the Giants game. He had no sacks against the 49ers. And
lined up against Trent the whole time.
Right.
Bitch ass Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, you're acting like Hassan
bully our tight ends and right tackle.
Bro,
go line up against Trent, my boy.
When you texted that, I was like, dude, what? Like you're yelling.
I was
at
just
him,
angry.
No, I know.
And also, what I lacked to mention is he lined up against Trent and actually got a sack. Trent, but I don't want to think about that.
Karlaftis has been really exciting though since they drafted him, and him and Frank Clark have been a great duo for them. Have been able to get to the quarterback. I mean, Frank Clark had, I think, at least 1 sack last week, if not 2. He's been monumental for them on the defensive side of the ball. So I'll give it to the Chiefs, but like it's hard in any of these battles to not give it to the Eagles because the Eagles are just freaking stacked at every single position they have. D tackle, as we're going to get to right now, primarily. The 2 D tackles that I found that were notable for the Chiefs are Chris Jones, who is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and Kalen Saunders. Those are
Chris Jones. It's Chris Jones.
So it's Chris Jones doing
Chris Jones versus
the absolute onslaught of Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Jordan Davis, Linval Joseph, and let's add another veteran who's won a Super Bowl in the Ndamukong Suh. That's the most ridiculous lineup in one position on defense.
You guys want to hear why this happened?
Isn't it just because Jordan Davis got hurt, so they took the other 2 guys?
Well, kind of, but not really. They gave up 180 rushing yards to the Commanders in their loss, and immediately Monday morning signed Joseph and Sue.
Yeah.
Were they both free agents?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now Davis did get hurt the week before, so it was something they definitely added. But holy shoot,
they have to run 4-3, right?
They do.
Yeah,
very much run a 4-3. Yeah, Fletcher Cox and Hargrave usually in the middle. Hargrave's been a tank this year. Chris Jones, I'll speak on him for a second before we get lost in the sauce here. Chris Jones has been phenomenal. All pro, Matt said, Defensive Player of the Year, probably be the 3rd guy on that finalist list. he's been phenomenal. 15 and a half sacks, 2 sacks last week. Can't say enough about him, but
but it's ridiculous.
It's just not
Yeah.
fair. I'm sorry. I
No.
can't even get the words out. It's just not fair.
Zach, how do we feel?
Good luck running the ball. It's a good thing the Chiefs have such a strong interior offensive lineup offensive line lineup, I should say. Because, geez, man, it's the Eagles. It's the Eagles in this
Well,
one.
it's like any interior offensive line. You're like, all right, I got to line up against Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave, who are really good in the NFL. And then out of nowhere, Fletcher Cox goes to take a break, and Jordan Davis comes in, who's even bigger than both of them. And then, oh, wait, Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh are sitting there resting up. So, like, you can just rotate five guys in and out. And, like,
so bad.
Having 5 guys rotating in and out of a defensive interior position is unheard of. Like, that does not happen.
That is something that says Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's such a difference maker.
The depth. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, I think the depth just sets it apart. Being able to, I don't know, Chris Jones is gonna have to play like almost every snap, and then the rest of those guys are just gonna be like, play first, second down. Oh, you need a breather? Yeah, I got you. Like,
and I'll take Chris Jones on every single snap over every single one of those guys.
Yeah.
And I know you guys will fully agree. But at the same time,
it's a long game.
It's a long football game, and it's a hard football game. And I'm realizing now there are going to be so many guys that retire as Super Bowl champions after this game on Sunday. There are going to be so many retirements.
Bro,
there's like Chiefs, 3 of them right there in that defensive tackle group.
Yeah.
Yes.
He probably could have retired 2 years ago as a Super Bowl champ.
This smells like goal line stands. Defense. Chiefs better not be trying to run on 4th and 1s.
No, they'll be throwing it.
They'll be throwing the outs, whatever they do.
Throwing their quick little turnaround routes.
Outs.
Travis Kelce gets some 80 yards of play.
Yeah, so Chris Jones is awesome, but the Eagles have the clear defensive tackle advantage here just in terms of depth. It's insane. Outside linebacker, the Chiefs have Willie Gay and Carlos Dunlap, and then the Eagles have Hassan Reddick, who, you know, we've gone through 8 guys, and we haven't even gotten to one of their best pass rushers yet. Hassan Reddick and Kazir White. I have to give it to the Eagles because they have Hassan Reddick's name in there.
Hassan Reddick is a freak.
Mm-hmm.
Freak.
I'm going to hop onto that one as well.
Yeah, and Willie Gay is great. He's been playing pretty good, but Hassan Reddick's just a freak.
And like the crazy thing is, like with every as we were saying before, with every one of these position groups, like this player on the Chiefs, awesome, but these 5 dudes on the Eagles, way better. Like it's just the matter of the fact, and you know that's why they went 14-3 and have had a great season. They've just outmatched every single team. Yeah. And to say they've had an easy road to it, I mean, maybe. Like obviously the 49ers didn't have the best chance with no quarterback playing. Daniel Jones and the Giants in their second ever playoff game with Daniel Jones. But like still, this team is absurd.
Yeah, they also beat both of those guys like 35-7.
Handedly.
So like they beat the Niners 42-7 and the Giants 35-7. It's not like they squeaked out a win against those teams. They murdered them. It's bad. This is a team destined. They're destined. I don't know. And the only thing standing in their way as we keep going through all these position battles, because we're gonna hit more Eagles wins here. Probably they might win out. The only thing standing in their way is a man holding a double cheeseburger and Kermit the Frog. That's it. And then like true. Travis Kelce. Like literally 3 people standing in their way.
Yeah. And like I picked the Giants and the 49ers to both win, but I can't you can't pick both of those teams to beat the Eagles and then go back on and be like, oh, they had an easy road. Like, no, they have a good team. Unfortunate things happen for those other teams that I picked to win. where they didn't. I mean, the Giants just got blown out completely. They weren't even in that game whatsoever. 49ers quarterback position, we know those issues, but yeah, they've had a fantastic season. And yeah, it smells like a Super Bowl team, as Zach said. Not that I want them to win a Super Bowl, but
Smells.
might happen.
It's
It
sniffing
reeks.
like it.
So advantage to Hassan Reddick and Kazir White at the outside linebacker position. Middle linebacker, Nick Bolton from the Chiefs, and TJ Edwards and Nakobe Dean. Give it to the Eagles. I don't care. Give it to them.
I'm actually gonna go Chiefs. I think Nick Bolton is kind of nuts.
I honestly haven't watched enough of him. I haven't focused on him. So go ahead, continue.
No, I think he's nuts. Nakobe Dean hasn't really produced that much, has he?
No,
Disappointing. Maybe, as he matures as a player. And TJ Edwards, as far as I've seen, is kind of just the linebacker. He plays.
I agree.
He plays with all of the other guys on this defense.
I agree. Nick Bolton is the best of the three. I'm going to take the Chiefs as well in this one. In terms of Nakobe Dean, middle linebackers typically take a year or two to develop before they get good. I mean, it's pretty rare for like the Roquan Smiths of the world or the Devin Whites of the world to step in day one and be studs at that position. But yeah, I'm gonna rock with Nick Bolton in this one. With my boy Yakri.
Not gonna lie, I don't have much of an opinion on this one, but I've definitely heard Nick Bolton's name said more during games than the other two, so I'll agree.
Chiefs get a win.
Yeah, well, I can give the Chiefs the win. I honestly don't know much about Nick Bolton either, but I just look at the name Nakobe Dean and think of the future, I guess. Even if he hasn't been all that great.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like he's gonna they hit on that draft pick too. I feel like he's gonna do well in the future. So
yeah.
For this game, give it to the Chiefs at middle linebacker. Cornerback Trent McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed for the Chiefs, and James Bradbury and Darius Slay, who have been two of the top 10 corners in the league. Another position win for the Eagles, in my opinion.
It's just so hard because McDuffie and Sneed have been so
They've been good.
They've been
the Eagles have been much better.
Like those are literally from this season's play, two of the top 5 easily, maybe top 3 combos of corners that we've seen this year. But Bradbury and Slay are just number 1. So, yeah, like you said, Matt, it's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, no, it is.
Well, actually, we only have 2 position groups left, but
Zach, anything different?
It's just how it is.
No, this is ridiculous. The more and more that we look at this, the more and more that we look at this, starting to favor one team over the other one.
A little bit. When you break it down like this, it makes it so hard to not pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles here too. I think it's pretty easy answer.
I think if you pick the Chiefs, you're just picking Patrick Mahomes and hoping that he'll just single-handedly win the game.
That was my whole point.
Yeah.
He's an underdog, baby.
Oh, that scares me.
Doesn't happen.
Don't say that.
I'm only saying it because I don't want the Eagles to win.
I know.
If I was not a Giants fan, I'd be taking the Eagles. Yeah, I mean it's hard not to after each position we've gone through. They have the major advantage at most of them. But I feel like Patrick Mahomes has a chance to find a way.
Oh, he does. He so does. Oh, he so does.
All right, 2 more position groups: safety, strong safety, and free safety. We haven't talked about this much during the season, but Justin Reed, we talked before the season started. This was a great pickup for them, coming from the Texans. I don't know what, maybe it was, we were watching a game last year and we were watching Red Zone while we were still in college, and we were watching the Texans, and we were like, who's this guy, Justin Reed?
Everywhere, because he was
all
everywhere
over the field.
Yeah. I that's wow.
Vivid memory, right?
Vivid memory. Yeah, absolutely.
And now he's in his first Super Bowl as a Chief, and has played great for them this season. And then their free safety is Juan Thornhill, and for the Eagles, it's C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Reed Blankenship. I mean, I don't really know who to give the advantage here. I feel like both groups have been good. I've heard a lot about C.J. Gardner-Johnson having a great season, but I mean, I like Justin Reed as well. So, how do we feel?
Chiefs slightly. I just think that Gardner-Johnson number one, Reed number two. In terms of play this year, Gardner Johnson, Reed, Thornhill, Blankenship, and they average out to the same, but I think the gap between Thornhill and Blankenship is the largest gap. Not very large, but just the largest. So I'm going to give it to the Chiefs by a smidgen.
A smidgerino. I agree with you. I agree with you just because I was playing law averages, and although I have also heard CJ Gardner Johnson has been freaking gross this year, I like Juan Thornhill a little bit better than Reed Blankenship. But if I'm going to be honest, I don't really know who either of those guys are. I'm just making that part up. So,
oh gosh.
So
Thank you for your honest opinion.
I'll pick the Chiefs.
At least you were honest.
Yeah, I'll be somewhat in the same boat as Zach, where I'm just gonna say I don't really know the other two, but I definitely know Reed and Gardner Johnson, and I think Reed has been a good player for the Chiefs this year, so take them.
All right, Chiefs don't have many advantages. Let's give it to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think we're also like low-key trying to make it a more fair game.
I mean,
out of the 22, wait, is it 20? Is it broken up that way? Probably not, right?
No,
we didn't go through 22. There's about like
4, 5, 6,
10 or
7,
12.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, including kicker punter. Oh boy. Eagles have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
it's 8-4 right now.
8-4 right now. Well, it's about to be 9-4.
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's actually about to be 8-5.
No.
Let's make it 8-5.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
a
be
nice.
I truly think it should be 8-5 because I think Butker and Townsend do have the advantage over Elliott and Kern.
kicker and punter for the Chiefs, Harrison Butker and Tommy Townsend. And the kicker and punter for the Eagles is Jake Elliott and Brett Kern. I think Jake Elliott's been great, but Harrison Butker's won a Super Bowl. He just won the Bengals game for them, so I like Harrison Butker better.
Elliott also won a Super Bowl.
Was he on the team in 2017?
Yep.
Oh, never mind. But I'll take Harrison Butker anyways.
I'm taking Harrison Butker.
Buttlicker.
Townsend's the all-pro punter. And then Mr. Buttlicker.
Harrison Buttlicker.
Eric?
Yeah, I agree with them, Butker.
All right. Butker for the win. And what ends up being 8-5? Eagles advantage?
I think maybe 8-6.
No,
I'm gonna do the math again. Because I'm including the coaches also. So
yes, it should be, right?
Yeah, because we voted on that. So it's what?
It's 8-6, yeah.
A little closer.
I did not keep the coaches in mind.
But
it's a 2-point favorite in the position window.
But we gave them, the thing is the Eagles won everything for the lines, and I think that'll make the biggest difference.
Yeah, exactly.
The trenches, baby. It's going to come down to it.
Yeah.
Unless Patrick Mahomes throws for 400 yards.
Yeah. But
then
if he's
nothing
running
matters.
for his life again, then I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
The final picks.
Oh, man. I've yet to say out loud to anybody. I've yet to actually pick one of these teams, even in my mind.
Ooh, wow, really?
Well, you're about to do
I've been
it.
fighting with myself back and forth.
Yeah, I haven't either, really.
I know
right.
exactly who I've been picking since they whooped the shit out of the 49ers. last week.
All right, you can go first then.
Yeah, I'm picking the Schmeagles, baby.
Schmeagles.
I have a coworker who's a huge Eagles fan. He's from Philly. Huge Eagles fan.
Me too, actually. He's the DJ.
At the dentist office.
By the way, Zach works at an orthodontist.
He's wearing his Jason Kelsey jersey tomorrow.
Awesome. Love that. I really do love that. I'm going to take the Eagles. As Hark said, the trenches, man. It's going to be one up front. They whooped the crap out of the Niners. They whooped the crap out of the Giants, both of which have some of the top 5 front sevens in the league, if not top 10 definitively. It's a team of destiny, and I really think so that is the truth. So I'm going to go with the Schmeeks. Fly, Eagles, fly.
I can't say that. So I'm going to rock with the underdog, Patrick Mahomes.
Love
and
it.
the Chiefs.
Love it. I love it.
I
love it. And I love the pick. I love it.
I won't be surprised whatsoever if the Eagles win this game. They've been dominant all season. We have seen points where the Chiefs look a little bit more vulnerable at times, especially with the Mahomes injury. But we're 3 weeks out from that now, and he looked fine for the most part in the AFC Championship game. It's going to come down to the trenches. Whether they can get Patrick Mahomes on the ground is another question, because I think they can beat the Chiefs' offensive line, but getting him down, depending on how far he can run from them, and the 10 defensive tackles that they have that are really scary and large.
It kind of sounds like you're picking the Eagles, Matt.
So I'm going to give you all these reasons why the Eagles are going to win, and because of that, I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Conceptually, I am taking the Eagles.
He just can't do it.
On paper, roll the Chiefs' kingdom.
Yeah, you just can't. You really can't do it, can you?
I can't. No, I can't.
Yeah.
I won't be a happy guy if I see Jalen Hurts holding Nick Sirianni, bro. He's a villain now.
It's fair.
Can't like him. Luigi, do you have a score prediction?
Ooh. (31-24). I think a pretty high scoring game.
Matt, what's yours?
What's the over under?
It's got to be like
Good question.
I'll get you that.
49. I'm gonna guess 49.
Well, you're gonna guess incorrectly, 50.5.
No,
I'll stick with my 31-24.
close enough.
What is it again?
50.5.
50.5.
I'm gonna stick with my score prediction though.
I will go over, and I'll go 27-24. If the Chiefs are able to win, they're going to have to score at least 3 touchdowns, and it will be close. And it could come down to the special teams, as it has many a times. Can't see the Eagles win. Zachary.
Zach, what do you, or do you want me
All
to go?
I'm going to pick the Eagles. I think that the Chiefs are going to fight valiantly, and they may score early. But I think the Eagles' defense is going to cause a lot of problems. There's going to be takeaways. They're going to score. They're going to capitalize on offense. The Chiefs are going to get down quickly. They're going to put them in a hole. I'm going to go 17 points for the Chiefs. And I'll go 34 for the Eagles.
Now you're down, my boy Patty, too much.
Yep.
I was going with the
Blowout.
same exact score in my head. I had
No
that
shot.
exact score.
No
Yeah,
way. That's
34
That's
I mean,
awesome.
there,
34
there is
17
a
Eagles.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the way Zach just wrote it out, I was going to say the exact same thing. I think it's
and
close.
I know you were gonna say the same thing because your
Yeah.
brain when he said that was like, whoa.
I agree with Zach. I think it might be close in the beginning, and then I think 34-17 will look closer than the game even feels. Because
I
if the
think
Eagles
they're
get
just
up,
going to start stacking points.
That's
if
fair.
the Eagles get up, they're going to do the same thing they did last week, and they're not going to throw. It's just going to ground and pound the entire game. So
They're
Yeah,
gonna
I don't
so
know.
win this Super Bowl.
What
they're
is
going to win
the-
the game.
What's the
They're
line
so
on
gonna win the
Eagles'
Super
defensive
Bowl.
touchdown?
+4.
Mahomes doesn't. Oh no, Mahomes turns over the ball.
I think it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit higher than Boston Scott touchdown.
It's really gonna come down to if Mahomes throws for 350 passing yards
And no picks. That's
and
a
no
big,
picks.
Yeah.
It's going to. Yeah, it's going to. come down to
MVS is
Mahomes.
going to have to go nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Or Travis. That would have been talking about.
Travis
will-
is gonna go nuts.
he will
That's
go nuts.
Inevitable. It's more so. You're right. MVS is gonna have to, or Juju, or
It's not going to be stupid Juju.
Imagine Kadarius Toney wins the Super Bowl MVP. 2 touchdowns, 200 yards, 8 catches. Goes
How bad would you feel
absurd.
about yourself?
How would you be more mad at that than the Eagles winning? That's the real question there.
Tell us
Well,
how
that-
bad you'd feel about yourself.
Well, that's like this is the worst This is the worst possible situation of all
It's a
time.
tough Super Bowl for a Giants fan.
It's horrible, bro. James Bradbury's in the Super Bowl. Kadarius
Yeah.
Toney's in the Super Bowl. Linval Joseph is in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So many freaking former Giants.
The Eagles are in the Super Bowl.
The Eagles are in the Super Bowl.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
Steve Spagnuolo's coaching in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, he's been there for a while now.
If Steve Spagnuolo can figure out what he did against the Bengals this week, good chance. But I don't know with that defense either. See, like I'm talking myself in and out of it. I don't.
You
Just
want to
stay
pick
where
the
you are.
Eagles?
Stay
You're
where you
just a Giants fan. It's,
Yeah.
The Eagles are the better team
Yeah.
in every way.
Yeah.
But I have to take the Chiefs.
I would also love to see an absolute shootout where Mahomes just can't miss. I would love
Yeah,
to see
that'd be
that.
great.
Bro, he's
I
playing
hope
in
so,
State
but-
Farm Stadium, bro. This is
Where's-
the script. The Eagles are really good all season. Supposed to be the dominant team. Mahomes is an underdog. The script is written.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
No, I don't know either.
I
I'm just
wanna
wishful
s-
thinking.
I know. It's wishful thinking. Yeah.
All right, so I went 27-24 Chiefs.
Yep.
Luigi
I went
31-24.
31-24 Eagles.
And then both of you went 34-17 Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
4
Final
touchdowns, 2
picks.
field goals, baby.
Oh, baby.
I'm glad I'm glad I'm also
We're all
picking-
going with the over, right? Or no, you guys?
No,
yeah,
we're
we're all
the
going with the
under.
over.
Eric and I are
No.
way over.
No, you're not
No,
way
no,
over.
no,
you're
you're
at
right, you're at the
51.
No.
You're at the
Oh.
same point differential as we are.
You're at
Oh.
51.
Yeah.
Matt's at 51.
Yeah, as me at least.
And
Yeah.
I'm at
54.
55.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
way over, but the rest of we're all over. So we're all going with the over
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
definitely take the under.
Yeah, probably.
Definitely fade us. It usually
Fade
works.
us.
Yeah.
I assume the last couple Super Bowls have been under. The Rams Bengals was 23-20, so that's 43.
That's definitely
Tampa Kansas City was 40 points. The Chiefs San Fran
Niners,
Super
that
Bowl was
one.
51.
51. I don't think that hit the over though, because I think that was expected to be a high scoring one.
Oh,
Oh, we
I
lost
think we
my
lost
two.
him.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh.
Am I in and out?
Yeah,
yeah.
you're
Oh,
back
there you
now.
go.
Back now.
Yeah.
All right.
The music is playing like
It's catching up. Yeah, it's like do 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 super fast.
Speeding out of the NFL season, final game of the week and the year is Super Bowl 57. Unfortunately, it's been quite a fun ride with everyone. We've had a great time doing it. We'll be back after the Super Bowl to recap.
I think we should do a recap week and then maybe be periodic after that.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying to Eric before the show started.
Yeah.
But it's been great every single week. Enjoy the Super Bowl. If you're an Eagles or a Chiefs fan, good luck. Unless you're an Eagles fan, screw the Eagles. I don't see them win. Go Patty Mahomes, baby. But I hope I see a good game. That's all I ever care about in a Super Bowl. That doesn't include the Giants.
Me too.
I need to see a good game because bad games suck in this scenario. Any final words?
Go Niners.
Go Giants. I'll say that. man.
Yeah.
Go Sean Payton.
Yeah. there
Yeah.
you go.
Woo!
No go Pats or
Alrighty.
Lamar Jackson, Eric.
Yeah, go Lamar Jackson.
Go Lamar
Jackson.
Jackson. The New England
Yeah.
Jacksons, baby. We want
Billy
it.
Sorry.
O.
Has a nice ring to it.
We want it.
All right. Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy some good food. Hopefully some good football. Peace out until after the season is over.